Okay, we're going to be doing problem number 32 from section 5.1. It says the table shows total costs associated with purchases from an audio CD club, including an initial membership fee of $25. Write an equation for this situation. There's two different ways of doing this equation. The old way of doing it is thinking about the three parts of the equation. You got your initial, your rate, times quantity equals the total. They said that the initial fee for joining the CD club was $25. Since we're making an equation, a linear equation, we have two unknowns. So the unknown is how many we buy and how many we end up having at the total end. So if we look at how many we buy, that's x, which is quantity. So we put x up here, and the total we also don't know either. So since the next variable will be y, we'll put y for here. The only thing that we need to know or we need to figure out is what the rate. So the rate of change. So remember, the rate of change is by looking at the difference. So if I look at the difference between 25 and 45, it's a $20 difference. 45 to 65 is a 20 difference. 65 to 85 is a 20 difference. So it just keeps changing by 20. But the one thing is there's a trick. If you look at the number of CDs, it goes from 0 to 2, and then 2 to 4. It doesn't go 0, 1, 2, 3. That's a little bit different than what we normally do. So we have to think, well, I could put a 1 in between and think, well, 2 CDs are $20. What would 1 CD be? So what we have to do is say $20 for 2 CDs. So how much would $20 and 2 CDs be for 1? You could do your cross multiply, or you could just say 20 divided by 2 is $10. So for 1 CD, remember, a rate tells you what 1 would be for that amount of money. So it would be $10. So that ends up with the equation. So you have 25 plus 10x equals y. Another way of doing it is just looking at your table, saying, does it start off with a 0? It does start off with a 0, so that means our initial rate is 25. You have to look at the change, which we did, 20s, and think that 0 to 2 is a 2 change, so 20 divided by 2 would be 10. X equals y. That's another way of doing it, but very similar. That's it. The equation is 25 plus 10x equals y.